Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Extraordinarily Ordinary. My guest tonight is a special lady. She is an artist, she's a performer, she is a health enthusiast, a songwriter, singer songwriter, and also an adrenaline junkie. She has gone through so much in her life, and some of the events has caused some psychological trauma. And so here we are. Our guest for the night, Miss Mimi Fly. Yay!
Assalamualaikum. How are you,
Alaikum
Baba?
salam. I'm good, thank you, Mimi. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
That's
I love your
wonderful.
background.
Thank you so much.
pretty.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much. It's my signature. Pink glitter is my signature.
I love it.
Yeah. All right. So, Mimi, would you mind sharing the events in your life that triggered the psychological trauma?
Hmm. I've never talked about this really before openly. So I bring you back to my childhood because it's easier for me to see it that way. Right. So I was only 5, 6 years old, and I lived with my mom, with my family, my brother too. During that time, he was around. And we have this one guest room downstairs where my family, like my mom, she's like the most generous soul on earth. She's wheelchair bound. She can't walk since she was born, but she has this heart that is the most generous I've ever known. So usually the room downstairs, right, is the space for any of her friends who is in need of help, who is in need of space to stay because we live pretty close to the city,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I happened to meet this man in his 40, 30s, late 30s. Good status. People call him doctor, right? He lived with us for a few years, and he and I did not know back then that I'm actually dealing with a pedophile, right? I didn't know. I was only 5. He created this dependency and intimacy with me, right? He started wrestling me. He would tickle me and things like that, friendly, and always get me gifts, ice cream, Vitagen, stuff that kids like. So, and then he started, I guess, molested me, yeah? But I did not know back then. I did not know until my maid found us on the bed wrestling. That's what I thought, wrestling. And then one night I woke up, I saw my mom and my maid talk, and I saw my mom cried. And the next day, that guy is gone. Like he left. And everything changed after that because I felt empty. It was so confusing to me, right? The worst part about this situation is me and my family, we didn't talk about it. They thought I would be too young to understand. But I already felt something. I was 5, but I still remember till this very day. So it took me years, Baba, to figure this out, right? But back then, because of this, we didn't communicate about our feelings. We didn't communicate about traumatic events like that. It caused me to not understand what happened. That goes on and on in my life when it comes to relationships. In this life, it's all about relationship, Papa.
Yeah.
Right? In the end, we were born alone. We will die alone, but we collect relationships. And I believe so much in that. Building relationship requires skill and experience and understanding and comprehension. But back then, when we were a kid and we didn't ask for it, but it happened. So it happened to me. I did not tell a soul until later, right? Until later. But I guess I wasn't raised to really speak up about my emotion. We do have that kind of family, right? We just
Yeah.
keep it to ourselves.
I
We
think
don't
it's in
talk about
our
it.
it's in our
I think it's in
culture.
our blood.
Yeah. Especially when it involves family, right? We're supposed to just like
Especially
keep
because
quiet.
family is everything. Family comes first.
Mm.
And in the end of the day, we just show everything. We should just suppress everything, right? For the sake of
Yeah.
moving forward with your family.
Yes.
But I carried this. It was pretty toxic when you don't know what's going on. So that's what I had in the end. Toxic relationships. The thing is, that kind of event made me feel like I'm not doing a good job when it comes to trusting people. That created a hole in my heart. Like that created this emptiness. The fact that I felt in the end when I found out that that was what happened to me. I figured that out by myself by just reading, or God always give you signs like that.
Yeah.
You just got signs from God in the end when it comes to understanding what you carry and what you need to heal. God will give you the sign. So when I found out that that was what happened to me, I felt that all this toxic relationship made sense. I got to the stage where I truly find a way to work it out when I met my therapist.
Mhm.
So that's when it got worked out. So
Yeah.
as you can see, it has been going for so long, but at first you didn't realize it, and then you realize it, and then you act it out, right?
Yeah.
You experimented with all other method in order to feel good about yourself, or
Yeah.
you didn't know that you need to forgive yourself, to be kind to yourself. I was young. I was just trying to get out from that feeling of
Mm-mm.
depending on something that just got snatched away from me without explanation. That's what happened. The trauma is that.
Yeah.
The fact that I had built a bond, although back then he was actually a pedophile. But the fact that I didn't have any explanation to it.
Yeah.
So that's the only, it carries, you carry that with you. So I felt after therapy session, and speak up more about the problems and understanding that it's okay to have this kind of experience as long as you embrace it and take and transform it.
Yeah.
Channel it differently.
Yes.
Right.
I think it's important to understand that what happened to you was part of your history, but it doesn't have to define you as you grow older, as you become an adult.
I have a super great mom. I'm just so lucky, Baban. I'm the luckiest person in the universe because I was chosen to be my mom's daughter. My mom has gone through a lot herself. She is my mentor. She is my everything. Growing up, I didn't get to see that. So most of the time we fight just panas, it's so because I was healing, and I guess she's the kind too that don't want to talk about her emotion. She's just that way as well, right? So it's in our blood.
We are Asians. We don't talk about our emotions, right?
Right. But she's strong. She's gone through so much. She raised us all. Alhamdulillah, we're good. But it's just that I had to realize that I had to be brave to take this path by myself, all alone. Right? It affected me. This event when I was 5 has affected my relationship with men until I got married and I got divorced. That divorce was the first decision I made for myself that I feel like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. This is when I take my power back. And that was 2017. And I'm living my best life now.
That is interesting what you said. Getting back your power to control your own life instead of letting circumstances, instead of letting situations dictate where you go in your life. So, at what point did you realize that you needed help, and then what did you do for you to reclaim your life, like you said?
I read somewhere, it says like God gave you the test because He loves you and He wants to let you see where He's taking you. Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started thinking differently. So I love to read, and ever since that, and I think that's one of the most important key in my life. I feel like I have my own world, and I fill that world with a lot of reading for whatever field that I like. You know, so reading kind of make me feel more in tune with my gut feeling and my intuition. So I really can't recall like when is the time that I realized, because I keep getting signs. When you were so down and low and you start isolating yourself, I feel like that's when it is easier to get through the deep hole in your heart. That's the fastest way to go. When you just shut everything, you isolate yourself, and it happened during MCO and all. But that's the key, when you start to wake up after all the toxic relationships that I had, and the fact that there's another fact to me, because I'm independent. I always have this. Back then, I shy away from commitment, so I just don't get serious. But when it got really serious, you become toxic. That's the pattern of a relationship, where you don't understand what relationship means, right? My ex-husband is somebody that I knew since I was 13 years old. I thought I had developed this friendship, right? But the thing is, I got married, and 13 days later, my dad passed away. So what I'm trying to say is, I got mixed feelings about this marriage, because I'm also grieving at the same time. But I don't realize it, right? I did not realize it. I just know that, okay, this is a new life. I got married. I wake up and I see somebody else sleeping next to me. Deep inside of me, I'm actually grieving. I was actually in my deep grieving mode. So I acted out. I basically isolated myself. There's a home studio at my old place with my ex-husband. I stayed there almost every day. I only went down to drink. I didn't even eat. It was really depressing. But it's about, the thing is, I didn't understand that, right? But it felt so much like whatever that I've gone through before. And that's when I feel like God is giving me signs. That's when it started with me. Like, I just read somewhere, or I listened to this song, and there's this message that I hear that just keep telling me to just leave, start over. When I was married, even I had fights with my family. Like, we didn't even talk. I didn't even talk to my mom. I was bitter. She was bitter. We were just cold, ice cold. And I got divorced, and I asked them, and they said yes. Some of my friends said no. And then I remember sitting down at my home studio just crying. Like, I cried my eyes out. And then I heard like an owl outside my house, 3 o'clock in the morning. Just like talking to me. And then I started typing something I think I wanted to go to Google and say, it's just science, and it just say breathe, let go, and I was like, that's what I've been wanting to do, but I was afraid to, knowing that when my dad passed away because he had liver failure,
Mhm.
and he's when I told him that I'm actually going steady with this guy, he said I always wanted to be a wali, and I was his first daughter. I felt like I got married because I want to fulfill my dad's wish. I felt like this whole abandonment issues that I had, not communicating my feelings, ended up, separated and divided. Um, feel like I gotta fulfill that. I'm the first daughter, so I got married, not because I loved him, right? It's just the I'm impulsive. I was impulsive, and so when I got divorced, I said to myself, like, Mimi, this is gonna be your first decision you ever make as the new you, as the new Mimi. So I had to leave the old Mimi with it, leave the marriage, and I left, and I started fresh, new life.
Sometimes it does take something major in our life to make us see what we need to do for ourselves instead of for others. And actually, it can be the least selfish thing you can do, to do something for yourself. Because sometimes, let's say, for example, if you decided to stay in the marriage, there would not be just one unhappy person, but probably two, three, four more unhappy person. Whereas after you left, you become happier, and probably your ex-husband is now happy because he has another chance to give himself the happiness that he needs, right?
Exactly.
Mhm.
When you start taking accountability, taking responsibility,
Yeah.
you want to be accountable in the relationship,
Mhm.
and I feel like that's the best decision at the time. And yeah, I'm happy. My ex-husband is happy.
Yeah,
We're still good friends.
that is good to hear.
Yeah.
So how has everything that happened influenced your journey as an artist, as a singer, as a songwriter, a dancer? How has it been?
It actually create my work. I'm so good at keeping secret. Since I was a kid, that's what I get, yeah, for having this kind of life. And I am so good at keeping secrets.
Mhm.
And but meaning I'm so good at playing another character to mask the real me, right?
Yeah.
It birthed Mimi Fly. It birthed the whole thing. And I feel like that's when people say, like, when you use your experience to and channel it in a creative way, that's when you become an artist.
Yeah.
And I get to do that because of all this experience that I have. I realized that yes, it was bad, but it was also good. So when I started becoming an artist, it makes it more true to me. It fills me up, it fills me up, and it gives me that fire.
Yeah, I can see the fire in all your work, especially when you perform. Recently, you performed in the Voices of Folk concert, and I watched it, and it was like, oh my God, Malaysia has her, and she's not like, I think you are way underrated. You should receive more recognition for your work, because your voice is just
Thank
liquid gold. Okay.
you. Bye bye.
Okay. All right. So, in the eyes of the public, celebrities seem to have it all. We often forget that celebrities are also human beings. They have feelings. They have experiences. Um, do you feel there is a difference in the way celebrities are treated when it comes to dealing with mental health issues?
Of course.
In what way?
I feel like we become the main target. Much respect to all artists handling this very, very well. Because yes, we are human. Netizen talk to you like they know you,
Right?
but as
Yeah.
as the one who's reading it, I can't see your face. But I do have people like this talk to me, but the
Mhm.
closest friends, or maybe the one that you trust sometimes play around with you like this.
Mhm.
But I can't see you. It affects my mind because in
Yeah.
the end, there's half truth because you heard this before from your friends, but your friends are fine because you grow with them, right? You grow and you learn with
Yeah.
friends. These people, strangers, they don't know you. We keep getting as artists because our yes, it used to be just being artists, but they don't have any access to us. Just magazines and interviews and TV shows. But now they find us on social media.
Yeah.
They have access to us almost all the time. And they
Mhm.
get to transfer their energy, negative or positive, and we have to take everything. It's so different. It's so different being an artist. It is not like we are the first one to get attacked. We are the frontliners when it comes to this. Mental health, yeah. Let's check the artist. If the artists are
Yeah.
strong,
Yeah.
right, the rest will be
Mm-mm.
fine. If the artists are mostly projecting positive thoughts and all, in a collective it will happen. So that's the big role of being an artist and also the one influencing social media of the nation. So yeah, it's different. But but we're not alone. Artists,
Yep.
we among artists, we talk, we vibe, we lift our spirit up. We understand, not without talking about it. We just know.
Yeah. I mean, it's bad enough struggling with mental health issues as a normal person without all these eyes on us. So I imagine going through things with people watching you, people looking at you at every single second of your life. It must be
Mhm.
exhausting and also tiring, definitely, and it must have an impact on your life, your thoughts, your feelings, and everything.
Yes,
Yeah. Um.
it has.
Hmm.
But I believe that it's mind over matter. Why must I care about anyone's opinion at this moment? Like why? I used to be so what do you call that? Affected by it. And I was because I have been in the industry for 13 years. So the first year I was I didn't handle it well.
You're just learning, right?
But I learned. But I
Mm.
learned,
Yeah.
yeah. And but that's the thing. And like now, if you ask me now, like why must I care about anyone's opinion?
Yeah.
You can say whatever. You don't know me, and whatever you think about me is really none of my business, and that don't define me at all. In the end, I'm the one who show you what I want to show you, and if you think it's pretty, you are actually pretty. If you think this lifts you up, you are actually lifting me up. If you think I'm ugly, then you're ugly. If you think I am, I'm just too much. It's actually you who feel that you're not enough.
What do you do when you have to deal with these negative vibes among netizens? What do you do to let it all go, let it all out? Do you go bungee jumping? Do you go? Because I just saw a video of you on a swing rope,
Exactly.
on a swing
Rope
rope,
swing.
rope swing. That's what it's called.
Rope swing.
And I looked at it and I'm like, oh my god, I want to do this. but I think I need Mimi to hug me when I go down.
Do you need me to push you? Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
I don't know.
I feel like my heart is outside of me when I got closer to the ground.
Mm.
But
Did you
swing,
think?
I
Did
felt
you
like it
think?
was fun.
Did you think you were really going to hit the ground instead of just
I
swinging?
didn't think
like
that, but I know that at that present moment, because it went so fast, right? That's why an adrenaline junkie loves adrenaline stuff. it went on so fast. So you felt it. You felt that you were scared or whatever. It just felt like, oh my god, I felt like serious, my jantung rasa macam dekat luar. And I got closer to the ground, but in the end, it's just gonna.
Yeah.
That's
So
the
other
best feeling.
than that, what do you do? You dance it off.
I roller
Work
skate.
out.
I
you
roller
roll.
skate. I do
Oh,
a
yeah.
virtual dance class every week. And
really?
soon I'm
Can
gonna
I
start
join?
teaching again. Yes,
Can I join?
Baban. You will love it. You will love it.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun. Especially if you take the 10 session, so you can just go on and on with me every week, and you can see the difference. It's amazing.
So
Meaning you can be the fly jammer. I call them fly jammers.
That sounds so cool.
Yeah,
Fly jammer.
Go for it.
Bye-bye, the
You're
fly
gonna have
jammer.
fun. You'll love it.
All right.
I feel like movement is the thing that we need, number one, to when it comes to change. Change happens with movement. You gotta move. So even when you feel like I don't have good day all day, like it's not possible. There are good days. There are bad days. And during bad days, I just don't stay there too long. I move. I just, even doing this, that is actually good to release all these bad energies. So that's why you got to keep moving, high vibration, keep laughing, dancing like no one's watching. Because when you connect to your inner child, when you don't force things, when you just accept life as it is, it can turn out to be really, really beautiful. And you get to see all this that experience is actually going to shape you to become somebody you can't even imagine what.
I like the idea of connecting with your inner child. But I think in my case, a lot of people would say connect with your inner adult, because I often act like a child. So thank you so much, Mimi, for appearing on my show tonight. But before we go, what is your advice to your fans out there who may be struggling with mental health issues and are hiding it from their loved ones?
I've been there. And I love you. But what's important is you must know that you love yourself too. You got to know that you have love for yourself. So all I can say to you guys is everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to work out. Everything's going to work out in your favor in the end. Just keep moving and be kind. Not just to others, but be kind to yourself.
That is wonderful. Yeah, I think we often forget to be kind to ourselves first before projecting kindness to others.
Like if you be kind to yourself, you know if you need help. That's what you deserve. You deserve support. You deserve a good support system. And you go find him. And you tell. And you be real. And gotta be real. In the end, all we have is relationship. Relationship, beautiful or bad. But in the end, all we collect in this lifetime are all relationships. So treasure while it lasts. Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much, Mimi. So to all my audience,
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it was my pleasure. So to my audience, if you or anyone you know is experiencing signs of depression or any mental struggles, do reach out for help. There are always all kinds of help available if you only look out for it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Babanology, and don't forget to click on the notification bell, so that you won't miss any future videos. And with that, I wish you all a good. Well, I don't know if this show is going to be launched at night or in the morning, but okay. Have a good day, everyone, and I will see you in my next episode. Bye.